Hello class. In the last class we have done this auxiliary trade, and auxiliary trade, as you already know, that is plays an important element, and or you can say supporting element to primary sector as well as a secondary sector. And we have covered the transportation, communication, banking, finance, insurance, warehouse, and advertising. All such come under a auxiliary trade. So in the today class, we will study about business risk. As we all know that no business cannot be escaped from, no business will escape from this business risk. So hence it is essential part of every business. So risk is essential part of every business. Now what is the meaning of business risk? The term business risk refers to the possibility of inadequate profit. There might be chances that you will earn inadequate profit, not adequate profit, or even losses due to uncertainty or unexpected event. Fine. So business risk, there might be chances that your profit will decline, that is inadequate profit, or maybe you're stuck at the losses. Fine. The uncertainty or unexpected event is like taking an example like demand. Like here, demand for a product may be declined due to change in taste and preference of the customer, or due to change in fashion, or due to change in competitors policy. These firms, or you can say even there is a more competitor available in a particular area, so entry of new competitor may also lead to the decrease in demand of our particular product, hence which is also known as increase in competition. Fine. These factors and all ultimately what these factor will do, decrease in demand will result in low sales and hence a lower profit or even losses. तो ultimately देखिए हम वहीं पहुंच गए. Fine. These factors are uncontrollable by the businessman, and these can result in decline in profit or ultimately lead lead to loss. So there are two type of a business risk are there. It is not available or given in your book. So here it is. I have written down this. So there are two type of business risk. First one is speculative risk. Speculative risk is involve the possibility. What? It's involve the possibility of gain or the possibility of loss. So in case of speculative risk, there is a possibility that you will earn profit, or there are chances that you will stuck as a loss. Fine. Speculative risk there arises. So speculative risk arises due to the change in market condition. Now what is change in market condition? Like for example, fluctuating in demand and supply, fluctuations हो रही है, change in price or change in fashion and taste of customers. Fine. A favorable market result, if a favorable market condition are likely to result in gains. So if there is a favorable condition, if the change, that means there are more customers are arising for a particular product, that means they will going to boost your sales and providing positive feedback to the people. So this is a positive change, that means this change in your favor, and this likely to result in gains to you. But whereas unfavorable and vice versa means unfavorable change, unfavorable ones may result in losses to you. So this is what speculative risk means. And the other one is pure risk. It involves only the possibility of loss or no loss. Even you may be at a loss or even at a no loss, which is also known as break-even point, no loss condition. Fine. Like for example, the chance of a fire, theft, or strike are some example of pure risk. Their occurrence, if they occurred right in the farm, the occurrence may result losses. Their occurrence may result in a losses, whereas non-occurrence may be explained like absence of loss, or you can insist of gain. So there will be absence of loss, which is also known as ultimately you gain. Fine. So that depend upon their occurrence. If the occurrence of that risk is there in the farm, so you will stuck as a loss or maybe no loss. Fine. If there is no occurrence of such losses, then that means it's absolutely absent of losses, ultimately gain. Fine. These are two types: speculative risk and pure risk. Now further we will study about what is the nature of business risk. What is the nature of business risk? As we know that business arises due to Uncertainty. Now, uncertainty refers to the lack of knowledge about what is going to be happen in future, because we are not aware about, if we are dealing in a particular business, then we cannot sure about what will happen into future. Like we estimated, we anticipated, but we cannot escape it. Now, the, like for example, natural climate is like change in a demand and a prices, change in a government policies, prices, or improvement in technology taking place in our environment are such examples. Fine. Some of the example of uncertainty which create risk of a business is the outcome of these future event which are unknown. So there are some unknown event are there for this. Fine. Second point. Risk is essential part of every business. This is really important, that no business can avoid risk. It is absolutely crystal clear that no business can avoid risk. Fine. The risk can be minimized but cannot be eliminated. The risk can be minimized but cannot be eliminated. However, business enterprise can minimize business risk by avoiding too much risky transaction. So in short, we can decrease this business risk by reducing the risky transaction in our business, like taking insurance policy, making provision of the current earning that we have, making some savings, or we have taken some insurance policy which ultimately going to reduce our risk. Fine. Which, like if we have taken insurance policy, it will be helpful in case of fire caught by our business. If there's some short circuit and our business stuck with a fire, so under that circumstances, that insurance policy is there to help us and support us, in short compensate to us. So we can minimize the risk, we cannot eliminate those risks. So in short, we anticipated those risks, cannot eliminate it. Further, the degree of risk depend upon the nature and the size of a business. Nature of a business is like type of a business or the services that you are produced and sold. That means ultimately you are dealing in that particular good. That is what means nature is. And the size of a business is the volume of production and a sales. It mainly of the factor will determine the amount of risk in a business. So ultimately there are two factors हुए. कौन-कौन से factor होते हैं? That is nature and a size of business. Size of business. Fine. For example, if a business dealing in a fashionable item, suppose if you are dealing in a clothes, which is fashionable clothes item, it is a high degree of risk. In a similarly, large scale business generally has a higher risk here as compared to small scale of business. Fine. Suppose trading business is, suppose if there is a trading business and other one is manufacturing business. So ultimately manufacturing is at a very large scale as compared to trading business. So who is much riskier? Of course the manufacturing part is a riskier business. Yes. So now proceed with the next point. Profit is a reward for bearing the risk. A businessman earns the profit because bearing the risk is no risk, no gain. Even can also say that higher the risk is higher the profit. In a similar way, no risk, if you are not taking any risk, so ultimately your business will not able or not in a position to earn profit. Fine. An entrepreneur bear risk with the expectation of earning profit. So definitely if you are earning risk, what is the motive behind that you are taking risk. Now you are taking risks because you think that there is a higher chances of earning profit. That's why you are taking risk. Fine. So here we end up this nature of a business risk. I mean the nature means characteristics. So it is arise due to uncertainty. We are done. It is essential part. You cannot escape it. It has to depend upon the nature and the size of a business. And the last one, as the profit is reward for bearing the risk. Fine. Let's proceed further. Next topic is causes of business risk. But this topic is really important. It may ask in a case studies as well. So what is the causes? What is the reason behind of the business risk? So mainly there are 4 reasons for this business risk. So business risk, the first one is natural causes like earthquake, floods, famine, droughts. This is all what comes under the natural causes. Other one is economic causes, taste and preference, more competition available in the market, more substitute, technological change. all some come under economic. And for the human causes, I'll explain further on physical causes. So one by one we'll explain this. First one is natural causes. Now what is natural causes is? The natural cause is the independent phenomena and a human being have no control over it. You cannot control this. It may occur at any time. Fine. If we talk about earthquake, lightning, heavy rains, famine. So this is all what? A natural cause. We never know that when it will going to happen. But it really impact to our business. This is beyond our control, but this is going to impact our business. So affect a business a lot and can ultimately result in a lower sales and ultimately losses. The natural cause are type of uncertain factor that human being cannot make any preparation against it. So we cannot even prepare for the same. If this is going to happen, if earthquake is there, then we cannot do it anything for our business. So ultimately what happened to our business? We will at loss. Fine. The other one is human causes. Human causes, you can clearly like, how come the human causes come as a risk? Suppose your company is ABC and you're working over there, and you leak passes some important information to your substitute available in the market. So अपने ही substitute को you provided the same information which you about to come in particular new product. Now that comes in a human cause. So ultimately what this is mean? Human cause ultimately being the dishonesty or careless or negligent behavior done by on a part of employees. Fine. Going on the strikes, lockouts are there. So all just come up in a human cause. So human cause are related to the change of laws due to the क्या होगा? Human being or change हो गया in employees of the organization. Like for example, it will take dishonesty of our employees can bring heavy loss for a business. For example, employee may leak a business secret to the competitor and may further commit fraud etc. तो commit fraud भी कर सकते हैं. Your important information may leak outside to your competitor, hence which is known as substitute of your particular product. The employees may be careless or mishandle the machines and resource, which ultimately wastage of resource, or hence you can say we are not optimum utilization of our resources. Fine. So employees may hamper the production going on by going on the strikes etc., and they can also lead to the heavy loss of a business. So all such losses will come under a human cause. Further the next is economic causes. Economic causes are related to the change in loss of due to change in market condition. That loss occurs due to change in market condition. There may be a price fluctuation of a particular product. There so much price fluctuation. There can be change in taste, preference, demand of our customers, bringing more technology in the market. The change of a degree of a competition. All these direct impact of funding of a business. Even change in a government policy affect the business. Even if a change in government policies affect the business, even change in a government policy affect the business. For example, 1971 when Janta government come into power, Coca-Cola company and many other foreign companies was sent back from India. So this is how the business is impacted. Although if you talk about, although this come under a political environment, but still this is a part of economic cause. So economic cause, the taste and preference, the change in prices, more substitute, the more better technology coming into market, and due to which you are facing a lot of losses. Fine. Now the last one is physical losses. All such losses result in a damage of asset considered as a physical losses. Like for example, change in technology may result in a machine outdated. So now the change in technology will come not in a economic but change in a physical causes. But mark my words again, if there is a change in technology will not come in economic but come in a physical. It's fine. So physical causes. So change in technology result, machine is outdated. Use of old technology, machinery defects all result in a damage of asset, busting of boiler. Ultimately, all this going to impact to our employed, because accident to employees is very prone if the machine is not up to the mark, right? Or outdated machine if you are using, then definitely there are more chances prone to accident. Fine. All come under a physical causes. The last topic of the chapter 1 is type of a business risk. So the business risk, the type of we have already studied. Now we have further bifurcate this type of a risk, and one is insurable risk, another one is non-insurable risk. The what we have studied about what is the causes of risk, the economic causes, physical causes, human causes, natural causes. So किसका हम insurance करा सकते हैं out of them? Out of all the causes we have studied, out of them, whom can be can be insured and cover the risk, and those causes cannot be insured. Like the first one is studying about insurable risk. The insurable risk can be covered are called insurable risk. All the risk which is covered under insurance is recovered. Though the losses which can be made for goods, the losses for which the company can get compensation. Now compensation that something get in return. Compensation from the insurance company are called insurable risk. Generally, natural and physical risk is insurable risk. Example, businessmen take a fire insurance policy or recover the losses due to fire. Fine. Hence, this is an insurable risk, or get protection from flood, earthquake damage assets, or such as busting of a boiler, etc. Like कोई मशीनरी है, बड़ी कॉस्टली मशीनरी है, तो आप क्या करा सकते हो, इसको इंश्योर्ड करा सकते हो. Nowadays, even see so many things are well insured. If we have our own personal car, that is also insured, because that personal car, if somehow stuck with an accident, come up with an accident, under that circumstances, the insurance company is ready to pay up some compensation to us. That calculation is absolutely dependent by the company, how much they are going to reimburse or in short compensate. Next one is known, or the last topic of the chapter is non-insurable risk. Now what is non-insurable risk? The risk which is not protection available, that risk which have no protection is available, that is non-insurable risk. Like some misbehavior by the employees, careless behavior of the employees, not optimum utilization of resources by the employees, right? The employees passing some very important information to our competitors. We cannot insure certain things. Generally, the economic risks are also come under this. Economic and human risk are non-insurable risk. The businessman cannot compensate the change in demand. The change in demand, and due to change in demand, like you are dealing in certain, certain electronic product. Suppose it's a mobile phones. If we're talking about example of Nokia, right? Nokia provide only the type phones with which quality caps, which we have, we can type it rather than touch screens. So, but Samsung come into the market at that particular time and enlarge its market share. So under that, this is an economic change, right? The change in demand, ultimately the people of the entire nation, not entire as a globally, they opted as a touch screen phone is much benefit. I mean, they accepted the change, and this is how this change is not under the cover up under a insurance company. We cannot cover up this risk by the insurance company. Insurance company is not going to compensate this amount to you people. So hence that's why it is a non-insurable risk. Fine. So we are done with the chapter 1. In the next video I will going to teach you how we need to attempt certain questions, or how we need to attempt the case studies or the application based questions. It is my humble request, please go through this. Once you are done with this, then only you are in a position to answer all the case studies or relevance application questions. Fine. So take care students, have a great day.